there's this man who can't move very well. Been to the doctors, no cure. The good news is he has friends. And his friends know that this man needs help. And so they hear that Jesus has these healing powers. And they take this friend and they take him to where Jesus is at. Now remember, Jesus, when he teaches, oftentimes there's not enough room. And so he's at a house, and these guys, it says in verse 18 that some men carrying a paralyzed man on a sleeping mat, they tried to take him inside to Jesus, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. Now I'm thankful that when they arrived with their friend who was on the sleeping mat, he's paralyzed, I'm thankful that when they arrived, that they didn't give up. They didn't give up, but rather they were a little creative. And when these guys showed up, you could just imagine if you were there and you're hearing Jesus teach, and one of the guys has, hey, you know what, I have an idea. And that idea is this: let's take our friend to the back side of the house. Let's get him, we'll carry him up to the very top. And in verse 19, it says, it's great, it says, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. So they went up to the roof and took off some of the tiles. Then they lowered the sick man on his mat right in front of the crowd, right in front of Jesus. They literally take these tiles off the roof, and they lowered their friend right in the middle, right as Jesus was teaching. Imagine you're there, okay? Imagine you're there, you're leaning forward, you're listening, and this guy is lowered right in front of you. That's as low as you could get. This is my friend Queck, Ryan Queck, and so imagine Jesus is teaching, and the guy's there, and he's been lowered. When we read this story, who are the people that always get attention when you may have read that story before? Jesus, of course, and the lame man who he ends up being healed. But the first thing that Jesus sees when we read this passage of Scripture, he says that he saw their faith.
Right.
All of them. He saw the guys holding the ropes. And he was so amazed by their faith, by their love and their compassion, that before even Jesus healed the lame man, Jesus says this in Scripture, it says that Jesus forgave his sins. He was far away from God. He did not have a relationship with God. Jesus forgave his sins. And that may have never happened had it not been by the creativity, the faith, and the courage of his friends who were holding these ropes. Yeah. That's where it was at. And so the rope holders, is because of the faith of the rope holders, this incredible miracle happened. And that's what's amazing, because we read this story and we go, all right, with the lame man, his sins are forgiven, he's healed, hooray. But the guys who were holding the ropes, they don't give any credit. And when we start this series on Make Your Mark, we're going to be looking at different people in history and different people in the Bible who left their mark. All right? But these are guys in Scripture, they're pretty obscure. We don't even know their name. But they did something very, very significant. Yes. They held ropes. They were rope holders. Let's give our rope holders and Queck a big hand. Thank you guys very much.